This next chapter is going to discuss in even deeper detail the idea of monetary policy, the tools that the Federal Reserve can use in order to influence the money supply, and then how that influences the macro economy. And in particular, you're going to examine the idea of what's called the monetarist school of thought. So you will remember we had a discussion of the three tools that the Federal Reserve can use in order to control the money supply. They adjust interest rates or the required reserve ratio, or they buy and sell bonds as an open market operation. This chapter will introduce you to the notion of the demand for money. And there are three main reasons why individuals demand money. There's a transactional reason, a precautionary reason, and a speculative reason. So you'll discover why we demand money, and then you will look at the relationship between the money supply and our demand, and what happens with interest rates. And as the supply and demand change, that has an influence on our interest rates through the bond market. And you'll discover that as the price of bonds falls, the interest rates will rise. So the monetarist school of thought essentially focuses on what's called an equation of exchange, a very basic equation that says that the money supply times the velocity of the circulation of money is equal to price times quantity. And it's a very simple formula made even more simple by holding velocity and quantity constant. So essentially, the monetarist school of thought says that the changes in the money supply equal changes in the prices. And essentially, it has a direct impact on the price levels in the economy. So you will then do a comparison of classical economic thought, Keynesian economic thought, and the monetarist schools of thought, and how monetary policy and fiscal policy can be used to influence the macroeconomy. So out of this chapter, you need to make sure that you really get a good look at how monetary policy affects the macroeconomy. And then at the very end of the chapter is a very good comparison of the beliefs about the way to influence the business cycle.